Hello everyone, this is Punch Collins, and my goal today is to show you how to set up your cash flow manager. This is very crucial because you want to start immediately recording all of your income and your expense receipts. So the sooner we get that started, the better. Okay, so as you can see, I'm here on my punchcollins.myecon.net website, and I'm simply going to log in, and then I'm going to click on the Tools tab, and I'll come down here to where it says Cash Flow Manager. That will take you to your Cash Flow Manager list. And what you're looking at are my list of different companies that I have. So what you want to do first is go here and create a new cash flow manager. As you can see, you have a choice of business or home, and you just give it a name and then you hit save file. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my list. I will be using the cash flow manager list, the ABC company. That takes you to your dashboard. And here you see several options. So you can go straight to enter a new income, or you can enter a new expense. You can enter or edit a budget when you set that up, or you can view or edit recurring expenses or income. The bottom down here says you can view or edit your income or view or edit expenses, and then you've got your preferences as to how you want it to look like when you open it up, and then you have unassigned receipts, and we will talk about that a little bit later. But let's just go straight into entering a new income. No, let's do this first. Let's go and view. Let's see what the view looks like. So here's what it looks like when you do the view income. All right, we're going to take a look at the dates. If you click on the calendar here, you can go and say, I want to view my expenses from this time to this time. So if you click this little arrow here, it takes you back by a month. If you click this one, it takes you back by year. So let's say we want to go from January 1st of this year, and we're going to go over here to this calendar, and as you can see, it automatically puts in today's date. Then down here where it says load filler, so this is your or, I can just go year to date. It'll give me the same results. Or I can say month to date if I just want to know for this month. Okay, as you can see, the ABC has nothing. We're going to go back and we're going to click in year to date. Now over here you can say I want to view income and expenses, or I just want to view just expenses. Okay, so we're going to click on both. Now you can uncategorize or you can categorize. Now what does that mean? If I click uncategorize, basically what it's going to do is going to put my income and expenses in chronological order, as you can see, from August through November. But if I click categorize, it's going to categorize them by the type of income or expenses that I put in. So you see at the top it has total bonuses, and here it has advertising. So I had several commission and fees, so it's going to give you the total commission and fees. And this is really good, especially when you're doing and you want to look at your reports at the end of the year. All right, now you can go over here. You have the principal view, and that's just so that you can print it. And you can just do your mileage log, because remember, with every receipt you're going to enter the miles, and you can do your profit and loss. So as you can see here, it'll tell you what your profit versus your expenses. As you can see, my bonus was $1,000, and we had some expenses, so that means my net cash flow, as you can see right here, it'll give you that. All right, so let's return. Let's go ahead and enter a new expense. Select the expense type. So as you can see here, we have several types of expenses. Now you can also go over here and customize an expense type if you don't see it. Now here's what I've done, and I recommend you do this because it makes it easier. You don't have to. It is just a suggestion. So as you can see here, we have numbered our expenses. Now, where do we get this from? This is based on the Schedule C when you file your taxes. So this is an example of a Schedule C, which is your profit or loss from business. And if you go down here and it talks about your expenses. So what I've done is we created the customized expenses to line up with each line on your Schedule C. Okay. Now, will they all apply to you? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you don't have any employee benefits program. But again, it doesn't hurt to put them in there because going forward, you never know. At least you'll have it already set up. And so basically, I just put in 8 advertising. As you can see over here, look at my drop down menu. It is set up exactly like my Schedule C. Now, let's go back over to the Schedule C. As you can see here, you've got on 27A it says other expenses. Okay, now those other expenses will go over here, and so what we've done here, as you run across in your business, you have expenses that fall in the other category. Then you can go ahead and make a, if it's not here already, you can just make a customized expense using that tab right there. So let's say our first one is going to be our, let's go down, we're going to find our commission and fees, right? So you paid a fee when you joined my econ. So you're going to put in the date and you're going to put in that amount, okay? Let's say I think it was 189.82, for example. It was 179.99. Okay, with taxes, somewhere around there. And who did you pay it to? You paid it to my econ. What did you pay it for? You can say business investment, or you can say business startup fee. Where? Now for me, I like to say where as in city and state. That's just me, okay? Because this who one day could be Red Lobster. Which Red Lobster was I at? Was I in Chicago? Was I in Fayetteville? So I just put down where I was for that expense. Now, if you want to give yourself some notes, you're more than likely to do that. Now, as we go down here, you have your mileage. So click on show mileage. You can list up to 3 vehicles, different vehicles. So now, were there any miles associated with this particular receipt? No, there was not. Unless, of course, maybe you drove to a presentation. Okay, so if you drove to the presentation, I would go ahead and say, all right, I drove 20 miles. Now you can put in your beginning mileages and your ending mileage if you choose to, but you don't have to. And then you go ahead and hit save. Now, if you go over here, let's take out income. Let's go from month to day so I can just narrow it down. Now, as you can see, today is the 15th, and there's our 189.82. Bam, it tells you which vehicles, and you have your miles. You see how easy that was? Okay, now we can do the same thing. Let's go to enter a new income. Same concept here. So these are your different types of income. Self-employment income, salary, whatever. So let's go ahead and we're going to say this is our self-employment income. We're going to put in the date. You're going to put in the amount. And you're going to say who did you get this income from? We're going to say my econ. For what? We'll just say business. Where? Again, I'm going to put in Fayetteville. Okay. And there were no mileages associated with this income, so I'll just go straight ahead and hit save. Now, you see what happens? There it is. Now, the next thing that we want to do, now that we've gotten that in, it's very simple, right? So simple to do. I highly recommend that you go ahead and let's see how we set up. Let's go back to our dashboard. We're going to set up our recurring fee for our 29. I'm sorry, for your $34.95. So, in order to do that, go back to the dashboard, and you're going to view. Okay, and let's see let's take this one if we want to put it on a recurring expense. So if you go down here, once you have paid your first, you can put it in now, but you have not paid it yet, so you don't want to put it in yet. Wait until it actually pays, and that way, like on the 1st of the month or the 15th of the month, whenever it comes out of your bank account, you go ahead and you enter in that new expense. And once you enter that new expense, you go down and you're going to say, we want to make it a recurrence. So we're going to make it a monthly, okay? Then you can say with the next recurring on whatever date it is a month from then. So you go ahead and put that in there and you just hit save, okay? And so what you have, so as you see, this is the reason why I say to wait, because if you put it in now, it'll show that you just put in a new expense, and that's not the case. So we want it to come out at a later date in time. So if we do it like this, okay, you see it does not show that particular expense right now. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Now this is totally up to you. Now, so it's just going across the top here. So we have some tools that we have up here. One, you have your balance sheet. Okay. And this is just an example of your balance sheet. And you can put in all of this. Okay. If you like, you want to take your time and put this information in. It's good information to show you where you are as far as your assets and your expenses and your liabilities, shall I say, your assets and your liabilities. So now let's go over to going back to my econ. So now that's how you set up your cash flow manager.